Hello, friends. Welcome to Level Up with Debbie Neal. I am your host. There is nowhere I would rather be than right here, right now with you. This podcast is all about leveling up in all aspects of our lives. Thank you for being here. I am so grateful. I'm excited to be on this journey with you. Together, we are leveling up. You ready? Welcome, my friends. I'm so grateful that you are here and tuning up. Today, we're going to be talking about one of the most powerful assets that you can build in your network marketing business, and that's community. Like, I love every single thing about community. Community is where dreams grow. Community is where people feel connected, they feel supported, they feel seen. Community is where ordinary people do extraordinary things because they are not doing it alone. We live in a world right now that is so desperate for connection. We're surrounded by noise. We're surrounded by distractions. We're surrounded by comparisons. We're surrounded by highlight reels on social media. But what people are truly craving deep down is authentic connection, heart-to-heart relationships, and knowing that they belong. And so this is where you come in. This is where I want you to inject you and build this power of connection in your network marketing business. So why does community matter? So this is where I want to start. Like, why is community so important to your business? And I want you to understand why it's going to be different, because a lot of people are building on social media. I'm not saying we don't have communities on social media, right? You could follow somebody and you feel like you know them, but the reality is you really don't. I don't care how authentic they are on social media. You get to really know someone when you spend time with them. You cry with them. You build with them. You learn with them. Like, you're connecting in a human form. That is why we are on this earth. So what community does is it creates belief. When someone new joins you, they might not yet believe in themselves, which, to be honest, is most people, but they believe in the group they have just joined, the company they have just joined. Your team lifts them higher. Community drives retention. People don't leave when they feel connected. They don't quit a family. They don't quit people. Now, with that said, in 19 years, have people quit my family, my business, my connection? Of course. You're not going to stop all attrition, but you are going to increase retention when people feel like they're a part of something special and moving. Community is contagious. So what happens? Energy spreads. Negativity spreads, drama spreads, but energy spreads. So when people see other people showing up, dreaming bigger, taking action, it inspires them to do the same thing. Community also creates duplication. We talk about duplication, especially in network marketing, all the time. Duplication is not a little thing. It's everything. So it's not just about building. It's about teaching others to build their own circles, their own communities in their backyard. And when you have a community, you're no longer building a business. You're building a movement. Like, that's kind of special, right? So I want to plant this seed in your mind and in your heart. Start local and build global. Start local. And one of the questions I get all the time is, when are we going to this country? When are we going to that country? When are we going to this country? And don't get me wrong, global expansion is amazing. I have global teams and I am so grateful for them. But let me tell you, it takes a lot of leadership to grow a global team, because it's not just about, let me just bring somebody in that's on the other side of the world and they're going to build this amazingly. No, it's about them joining your community, your heart, your vision. So yes, our vision is to build a global team, but I want you to see yourself building in countries all over the world. But the foundation of that begins right where you are. So when I started my network marketing business 19 years ago, I started my business on Long Island. I come from Long Island. I was born and raised in Long Island. And my first 2 years of building my network marketing business was on Long Island. And I never sold a thing in my life. I had no network marketing background. And I can remember vividly, and maybe this was said to you about wherever you live. People said to me, oh my gosh, we heard of that company and it came through here at one time and it didn't work here and it's not going to work here. And I heard those stories. You guys, I could have had oh, wow, it doesn't work here. Like, okay, I'll start my business here, but maybe I'll build in the surrounding states that it works in. I was like, no, I'm not buying that. I'm not listening to that. My response was, I don't know who they are. I don't know what the circumstances were, but I'm building and I'm different. And so I started building right there. I launched my business. I didn't have social media at the time, so I knocked on doors. I invited people. I let people hear my excitement, see my excitement. I was inviting people at school, parents of friends, of my children, neighbors. I made this, just a list, people I went to high school with, because my high school was only a 45-minute drive away. Like I built that community. As soon as I started my business, I remember taking my products, our signature product, and standing out on my front porch and like, who am I going to share this with? Who's going to be the first people that I tell about these products and this? And I remember thinking, today, I'm just a team of one, but I'm going to build something amazing and special here. And so the first person that I enrolled into my business lived just in the neighborhood. And then the second person lived just outside my neighborhood. And then the third person was a family member. And then the fourth person was my bestie that I went to high school with. And so we started building there. And then they started inviting people and they were building their community. And as the community was building, I was sharing the company and the vision and the products and the ingredients and my leadership and our vision and it just started building and building and building. And so I started my business May 30th. And so I started June 1. I was a team of one, me, and I scheduled an event. So, and I tell everybody, like, I just started building in my living room. I kept inviting people to my living room as my teams expanded and they started their business. We built off those events, and other people on my team would invite guests to come and hear and experience the products and the opportunity. And just like I said before, energy is so contagious. And I booked a venue. Maybe you're like an OG in my business and you remember the Atria on Long Island in Setauket. It was an assisted living facility. And they had a room in it that seated like 100 people or 150 people. And I could rent out that room and I could fill it. And I remember booking that room and I'm like, I'm going to book it for August 18th. And by the time August 18th comes, my community is going to fill this room. My community is going to fill that room. And I held that date. And long story short, on August 18th, we not only filled every single chair in that atria, but we had standing room only. It started in a community, and then that community grew to Canada, and then that community grew to New Jersey, and then that community grew to neighboring states, but it started in my backyard. And then I moved to New Jersey 2 years into my business, and I had already had a flourishing, amazing team. And I lived here, and I was here 3 weeks, and I was like, I don't have a community here. I want to build a community here. I don't have a community here. And I was like, I just kept repeating myself. And where am I going to meet those people? And God, lead me to those people. And I already had this amazing business. I could have rested on that success, but I'm like, no, I want to rebuild the community. So wherever you're living right now, like, do you have a community right there? And so I started building the community. And I did events and people came and people joined. And then those people knew people. And I just started building this beautiful community in New Jersey. I built a community in Canada. I was 1 month into my business when we launched to our first global country. And I called up a friend of mine that used to work for me when I was in college. And she said yes. And I got on a plane and we started building a community there. And I went back every single 3 months to help her build the community there and to breathe life into her. And I stayed at her home. She opened me into her home, which was so amazing because we talk about community. It's not just about the meetings. It's not just about the coaching. It's not just about the products. We had coffee together. We talked together. We talked about dreams. We'd come back after an event. We would talk about, wow, the people that are really on fire and who do you want to follow up with and all of these different things. It was a community that I was building. So in your backyard, in your town, think about your neighbors. Think about, Who do you know, who you do want to get to know in the schools where your kids attend, your church, the mom that you're going to meet on a soccer field or a football field, the waitress that you're going to meet at your favorite restaurant. I tell this story all the time, but Brooke came home. She was in her very early teens. My daughter, who's now a vice president at my business, she's going to be 26 years old in November. And she came home and she said, Mom, my cheerleading coach would be amazing at this business. You should talk to her about this business. And so I made it a point that after she had cheerleading practice to go and talk to this coach and bring it up and talk to her. And we spoke about 5 minutes. And after those 5 minutes, she's like, tell me more. And I'm like, this business is too big and too powerful for me to just blurt it all out on the football field. Why don't you come tomorrow to my office and I'll give you the full story about this business. So she ended up joining my business, not just joining my business, but she ended up building to the top of my company and teaching other people how to do the same. We built a community within my community. So think about, again, your waitress at your favorite restaurant, the cashier who checks you out every single week. Everywhere you go, there are people waiting for connection. So start there. And know that you can bring up your opportunity right away. I thank God that the person who shared my business with me, she was a complete stranger. We were at my neighbor's house. She was a neighbor of my cousin. I was at my cousin's house. I was there for my cousin's 3-year-old son's birthday party. So I met this neighbor, and after a few minutes of conversing, she was like, wow, you'd be amazing in my business. You need to hear about my business. Now, what if she would have felt, oh my gosh, I can't bring this up too soon. I need to build a relationship with Debbie first. Like, if it's on your heart to share, share. When we hold back and wait, it's our own insecurities and doubts taking over. So today we're so blessed. Like, we could meet somebody, we could connect on Instagram and wait till the perfect time to share our business. But be brave. Be bold, ask. And I'm so grateful she wasn't like, oh, I can't bring this up too soon. I should really get to know her better. She would have wasted like weeks and months of my time when I was basically an immediate yes. At first, I was like, no, thank you. I went to college. I'm not going to sell products. And then when I learned about the industry and the company, I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I've been praying for. I've been journaling for more. This is it. And within 12 hours, I said yes and started my business. So have that level of belief. She had belief. And because she had belief, I had belief, okay? And teach your team to do the same. And when you duplicate that across towns, across states and countries, that's when your local effort becomes a global force. When we were young, we used to dream of being anything, an astronaut, the president, a prince, princess. But as you get older, your dreams change, focusing less on running the world and more on how you can take your skills and ideas and turn them into something real. Instead of dreaming of going to space or owning a castle, maybe you start dreaming of owning your own business. You'll need a website, a payment plan, a logo, and a way to advertise to new customers. It can all be overwhelming and confusing, but thankfully, that is where today's sponsor, Shopify, comes in. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the US, from household names like Mattel and Gymshark to brands just getting started. What if people haven't heard about my brand? Shopify helps you find your customers with easy-to-run email and social media campaigns. And what if I get stuck? Shopify's always around to share advice with their award-winning 24/7 customer service. Turn those dreams into and give them the best shot at success with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and get selling today at shopify.com/levelup. Go to shopify.com/levelup. Shopify.com/levelup. So, how do you create community? Like, I really want to give you guys some practical tips on how to actually do this. So I love this. Number one, let's start by making a 100-person list. Keep that list alive. You could put it in your phone. I like an old school, I handwrite it, I don't care how long you've been building your business. If you just started yesterday, you've been in like me for almost 2 decades, make a 100-person list. Because you know what happens when you make a list? You start to activate your memory. You start to activate something in your brain that's like, oh, I wrote down this person. Oh my gosh, I forgot about this person. Oh my gosh, I forgot about them. This is the sister of my friend. Like it just starts to activate things instead of just sitting there and being like, well, the right person's going to knock on my door, or maybe I'm going to connect with them. Like activate your brain. So keep it alive, keep it updated. These are the people that you're in contact with, the people you're connecting with regularly, the people that maybe you went to school with or college with or once worked with, or parents of your children's friends or coaches or teachers or whatever. Okay. So make that 100-person list. Number 2, build the skill of meeting people off social media. So here's the thing. Social media is a great tool, but don't forget about the skill of meeting people face to face, strike up conversations, ask questions, show genuine interest. Most people who have started their business in the last 5 years haven't even built this skill yet. It's like they're out in the wild and they don't know what to say to someone. They have to connect on social media because they need that phone to be the barrier between them and their vulnerability. So I'm encouraging you and I'm challenging you to build this skill. Number 3, host events. Like again, when you're building this community, you could do Saturday morning shakes or whatever it is that you sell, right? Vision boards, strategy sessions, dream board events, walks and workouts with your team, local business launches, and then build off of them. Like if I'm launching Sue's business today and she's going to invite guests, and then all of a sudden 3 of her guests join and they have launches, you could use those things to tell your team to come with guests, gatherings where you strategize and you dream together. Number 4, make people feel special. Every single person you meet is wearing a sign that says, make me feel significant. Plant a seed, show them they matter, invite them into your vision. Number 5, show up as a leader. Stand up in front of the room, share your story, share your products, share your vision. People don't just buy products. They're buying you, they're buying your vision, they're buying your leadership, and they're certainly buying into the community and the movement that you are creating. And if people aren't joining you right now, like maybe think, am I creating a movement? Am I creating a community? Or am I just so focused on selling and building a business that I'm removing the heart and the vision of what's really possible? Number 6, learn how to communicate with your team, allowing them to hear your voice. So again, regular communication is a game changer. Again, we have this thing called a smartphone, but texting will never do the same as talking to somebody in person, picking up the phone. If they have doubt, pick up the phone, let them hear your voice. I have one of my leaders in her first month. So we're going back. I was only in the business a month. So what did I know? I had no success yet. I mean, I had some success, but like not top of the company success. But I had this bold vision and I was so convicted on what we were creating. And one of my brand new consultants was 3 different times in the month. I made a mistake. I shouldn't have joined. I doubt myself. I can't do this. I'm sending my products that I ordered back. All of this stuff. And every time I came in, I was picking up the phone. I was showing it up at her house. I was selling the dream. I was reminding her of her why. I was enrolling her in my vision. We're doing this. We're doing this. We're doing this. And I could tell you now, looking back, a text would not have kept her in. And as a result of her leaving, there would have been several people that are now at the top of the company, including her, who built to the top of the company, and dozens of vice presidents as a result of those important conversations in the first month of her business. A text would not have kept her in. It's leading your community with heart. It's quieting their fears. It's holding their hand and reminding them of their why. I'm not saying to babysit, and I'm not saying to drag people. What I am saying is that I want you to really think about, are you giving up on people too quickly? Are you avoiding the contact, the communication, and the mentorship that people really need and crave? Because that's part of community. Are we replacing our hearts with text messages? You can't feel you in a text. When I've heard people say, I literally don't pick up the phone. I don't like to talk on the phone. Well, I'm just going to say this. I don't care what age you are, then you are not building the connection that this business requires, the heart that this, learn how to pick up the phone, right? Like people are like, I just don't do it. I avoid it. I put them to voicemail. I want you to think of your favorite coaches in the world. Do they coach their team to win through a text? Can you get someone on an emotional level in a text? There is an overall lack of communication today and an increase in loneliness. People feel isolated. They feel alone. And this is where community changes the game entirely. Community is the heart of a successful network marketing business, team, and leader. And here's the great thing about human connection that I want you to get really excited about. It cannot be replaced. So we're living in a world today. Look, AI has a lot of benefits. I'm not saying it doesn't. I don't really know how to use it yet. And maybe that's an ignorant statement, but I'm like, I just haven't. I know I need to learn more, but listen to me. Influence, this is my belief. Most influencers will be replaced by AI technology. Why? Would in the world today, when AI is like, they can make somebody that looks like you, looks like me, looks however they want, that could talk about the products that some of you might be selling today. Maybe you're saying, look, these are my shoes. Here's a link. This is a bag. Here's a link. Here's a sweater. And trust me, I click on all those links. Most of the clothes I buy is because influencers post them, and I follow people that are built like me. They're right. I don't want to follow somebody that's much thinner than me or heavier than me because I want to know how the clothes are going to look on me. But I don't care if that's a real person or AI. Those things will be replaced by AI. Why are they going to give people percentages of sales when they could replace that? But here's the good news. You cannot be replaced. Not with building this business. Your heart cannot be duplicated. Your love cannot be automated. Your community cannot be replaced. This is why connection matters more now than ever. Human hearts need you. So build with faith and discipline. This business takes courage. It takes faith. You have to know that you are enough. Yes, the world will try to distract you. Yes, the world will push comparison. We say comparison is a thief of joy, but every single thing you see on social media, you compare your business to other people. You compare your relationship to other people. You compare your body to other people. You compare things to other people. And we just keep feeding that beast. The world is full of smoke and mirrors, but you stay in your lane. Put your blinders on. Build your faith, your focus, and your discipline. Draw out your organization. What do you want it to look like? Visualize it. Be on a mission to enroll and fill those bubbles. I draw bubbles, like how many people I want to have on my team and how many team members I want to help them build. Build the width. Develop the leaders. Build the security, which I say, the width is your pay, your depth is your security. Because at the end of the day, this isn't just about enrolling new people on your team. It's about building people. So I want to give you guys a little call to action. I love to talk about action because without action, inspiration is just noise. Like that's all it is. I want you to focus on enrolling 4 new team members this month, no matter what level you're at. Who are the next 4 people I'm going to connect with, visualize with, dream with, strategize with, and change their life? Because expansion is key. Sponsoring is the lifeblood of your business. As you're building, create team chats, build connection, and make sure you monitor those chats. Like anything negative does not belong on a team page or a chat. And I know sometimes people are looking for camaraderie or they're looking for inspiration, so they put it in a team chat. No. Go directly to your mentor with anything that's not uplifting and positive. Set sponsoring goals together. Focus on growth. Focus on building leaders. Your goal isn't just to create customers. Your goal is to create leaders because leaders duplicate. Leaders build teams. Leaders build movements and leaders build communities. So my friends, you are here to build more than a business. I want to be that reminder to you. You are here to build a community that cannot be replaced. That's the most powerful shift that you can make in your business. People are waiting for you. They're waiting for connection. They're waiting for vision. They're waiting for someone to believe in them. That's your calling. That's you. That's your opportunity. So together, let's raise the bar. Let's build locally. Let's duplicate globally. Let's go out there and build the kind of community that transforms lives, starting with yours. I love you, friends, and I believe in you, and I am grateful that you are such a special part of the community that we're building here to level up.